it's not easy to get a healthcare practitioner or someone of a different modality here, because they all think that they know it.
She's not. She wants
But I'm just saying, and that's all I want. That's all I want, what was best for my child and what was best for someone else's child. I've never ever said that it's my way or the highway. I've never said that this is protocol. I've never said, I just do all these classes and videos and now I'm working on my book and stuff for someone to say, just to say, hey, just try this. And if it works for your child, cool. There's no difference that my child or children are so engrossed in karate and Boy Scouts now, or then they did Cub Scouts. That's just our family's lifestyle. But that works for it. So he just got the head up from there.
What's funny is mine's not.
There we go. See how I'm just allowing just those push-ups and everything? I'm not correcting his head. I'm not. Because the first thing he's got to do is learn he can get the noggin up.
So patient.
But like I said, I just try and offer this stuff just to say, hey, this might work for your child.
No, I'm
You
always
might want to consider
go
this.
see
I tell everybody that. I'm like, have you called her yet? Have you seen her yet? Like, forget if there's anything wrong with you. It just feels amazing to be touched for an hour.
Seriously. People will sit there and go, do you know how good this feels? And I'm like, oh, if someone came in to do me, I would kick you off the table in 3 seconds. I'm like, yes, I do know how good this feels. But what the thing is, they don't get is, I have so perfected my touch. I mean, difference with me really is the details. I can sit there with Mason, if he fell asleep right now, and work with his sacrum tailbone for 2 hours, and I would just be like, and it's like, I call it microsurgery without knives. Good job. Yippee! And now I can come here, tuck the knees, and show him and how to bring it back with the pelvic. How did you do that? You're up. You are up. Yeah, I know. Life is good. And, here's another one. Standard rattle.
You had fun shopping.
But unfortunately I had to do all of this because nothing else worked for my son, and I'm glad I came into it. But my whole thing is now is like you said, early detection. There's no reason why I can look at just a baby and go, oh look, blah, 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 blah.
Or even as a mom that I could look at Arlie by 2 months and be like, there's something is not, this isn't right. She shouldn't be doing this, that, and the other.
Well, Mason's a pure example, and I'm not saying this to like, ooh, look what I did. But here's a baby that I solicited because when I heard that part of his brain was, quote, missing, I knew that what I did would be really beneficial to him. And I went up to her because she was in my mom's group and said, hey, I'll see you at this class. Are you interested? Because I'm going to videotape him, and not everybody wants to be videotaped. And she said, sure. But outright I said, this child doesn't have this, that, and the other, even though she'd been
You
totally...
remember the first class
Yeah.
she said?
Yeah. And it was totally true, but...
Now they finally...
But I don't have an MRI, I don't have, you know what I mean?
No, but they declared finally, which I knew all along, he had a stroke in utero.
But my argument is that nobody's touching the baby. Nobody's touching you. I go to like Barrows Neuro Muhammad Ali for my husband, and the guy sits there on his laptop.
Yes.
What? So now here, going back, I can do it reverse. Now this, even if it was briefly, I had him in my hand working on just how his whole head rotates.
And you're honestly really lucky that he let you touch his head because he's very sensitive.
Oh, I know he is, but that's also why a lot of babies don't come to me because parents go, oh, my kid hates to be touched. And I'm like, I don't know if it's me or this table, but let me tell you, in general, and you're gonna argue with me? 98% of the time, there's nothing in my touch that warrants any kind of a startle, any kind of a...
thinking
And if it
also
is,
how just accepting you or whatever it is. Do you know what I mean?
You kind of just go with the
You're
flow.
not like, you don't sit there the whole time being like, wow,
She goes
you
with the
know,
flow.
this would really be so much better if you would lose 10 pounds or, do you know what I mean? That you're just like, this is your body and this is what it does and let's just go with it.
well, people go, oh, I shouldn't have had that surgery. Yeah, but you did. You know, what we're going to do now? Or you shouldn't have burned your hand when you were 6 months old. But you did. So this is where we are now. Is one thing. Two, I like to use this analogy. I would not marry any one of your husbands. You wouldn't marry mine. We are all different. So for me to touch you in a way that in any way, shape, or implies that my way is better, most people would be saying, see, lady, you know what I mean? I touch you for movement efficiency. I just want to see how Mason's doing. That being said, and I don't like doing it, I compared Arlie to Mason. Not comparing them, I was comparing the movement. Like, what could I learn from her to show to him that he might move better? But I don't want it to sound like, oh, look what he's doing wrong. It's not that kind of thing. And that's why I asked for permission first, because I don't like to do it. It's not in my nature. So a lot of people, like, I'm just getting it again. I got a kiddo coming in from California and one from Colorado, and it's like, why don't you want all their medical information? I'm like, because
You go off
that's
what
why you go to a doctor.
Please talk
If
about
you
that
have
with
epilepsy, you have a diagnosis for seizure medication, but you're not here for, you're here for movement, and I don't need a quote said diagnosis. I just need a body. Right. But that being said, even though I've mentioned part of his quote brain got affected because he had a stroke in utero or whatever it was, you know what I mean? Like, it could be, we know, I shouldn't say we, doctors know so little about how the body truly functions, because what they can't understand is, okay, Mason has quote blah 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 happened to him, so he should be acting blah blah blah. Well, if you x-ray me and you, other than a little extra probably heaviness or height differences, we look absolutely similar on x-rays. We both have sternums, scapulas. We are not the same people. We don't act the same. We don't, because we've had different, people like to say life experiences. Oh, I'm sorry, did I stop with you and I'm talking too much? We have different movement experiences, and that's what it is. So Mason's putting his movements together and saying, I can do this or I can't do this, and that's how we are. And that's why you come here, because you're getting more movement vocabulary, so therefore you have more options to do or not to do something. And it's sort of that simple, but at the same time it's easier to recommend someone to Red Robin than me. Go figure. Yeah, I know, you'd rather go to Red Robin than me.
She said I wouldn't know. I don't get french fries.
They have sweet potato fries.